Welcome to Morocco.
Welcome to Morocco.
Welcome to Morocco.
Welcome to Morocco!
Bienvenue au Maroc.
Welcome to
Oh yes, looking back on my last bike trip, one thing I can say for sure. I felt truly welcome in Morocco. During this relatively short trip, I experienced so much hospitality. People were friendly and supportive. They would greet me on the streets and were often up for a chat. When the language barrier was too big, they found other ways to express themselves. I was invited to dinners on several occasions and even to stay overnight with strangers. Being surrounded by friendly, welcoming people made me enjoy the trip even more. Landscape, nature, cities, history, culture, food. Morocco turned out to be a very exciting and rewarding country to cycle in. But let's start from the beginning. For me, this bike trip officially started by cycling to the airport in Krakow, Poland. Soon I was about to switch from this to this. After a fairly comfortable night at the airport, smooth flight, and setting up my bicycle in Menara, Marrakesh, I was ready to hit the road. My very first time on a bike in Africa. My plan was to cycle from Marrakesh to Casablanca and then along the Atlantic coast all the way to Tangier. But first, I wanted to take some time to explore Marrakesh. By bicycle, of course. As in every Moroccan city, it was a bit challenging to cycle around, but at the same time, very rewarding. Once you get a sense of how things work on the streets here, it doesn't seem that scary anymore. I did it for 3 days and didn't have any dangerous situations on the road. You just need to be very careful, think for yourself and for others, and you should be fine. Plus, those areas away from the main streets are such a joy to cycle through. I loved exploring the small streets outside the Medina. Some of them form kind of passages with little to no traffic, just people walking around, so it felt super chilled and safe. Even cycling at night turned out to be pleasant, with warm temperatures, vivid local markets, and grabbing food on the way. Oh my god, Marrakesh was really cool, and so many things happened in just under 3 days. I met plenty of nice people who spoke English or French, or both. I hung out with my couchsurfing host, went to Decathlon, the museum, the market, tried some delicious local food, got my bicycle prepared, and even went to a cinema with a policewoman I met just after leaving the airport on the first day. Such an epic stay in Marrakesh, but of course I couldn't stay there forever. It was time to start the trip for real. The first days of bike touring always feel great, especially in a new country. As always, it took a while to get out of the hustle and bustle of the big city. After a while, I took a national road that I followed for the next 3 days. And although it wasn't the most exciting route and there was still quite a lot of traffic at times, I found it very interesting to explore inland Morocco by bicycle. The rigid landscape with faded colors had something charming and melancholic. I enjoyed my snack breaks, observing local life, and the general vibe of a new place. On the first day, I cycled a little over 60 kilometers, which turned out to be rather challenging. I'm a bit tired already, I have to say. but it's quite normal on the first days of cycling. By now, I'm a bit over halfway to Vengrir, where I'm going to stay overnight. So it's another 30 kilometers that way. On the third day, I reached Settat, where I was received very warmly by Ashraf. Believe me, couscous and Moroccan mint tea taste even better when you travel by bicycle. I really enjoyed resting on the couch and our evening walk through the university area. Thank you, Ashraf! I was pleased to observe the landscape gradually change between Settat and Casablanca. Look how green it became compared to my first day. You can tell I'm reaching the Atlantic. It was also the last day before Ramadan started, so I grabbed a farewell tea in one of those very local cafeterias. Those places were just perfect for a break, but for the next month I had to forget about them, as they remained closed until sunset. I was already pretty fed up with the traffic because most of my route followed the national road, so I was very happy to leave it for good. Ooh! Yeah! Rural Morocco! Goodbye, highway! And hello, countryside! The last 30 kilometers before Casablanca were very nice to cycle. It always feels good to be in the countryside, and rural Morocco was no exception. On the way, I saw plenty of shepherds with their flocks, and just before Casablanca I passed by Buskura forest, perfect to relax a bit before reaching the city center. Casablanca is the biggest city in Morocco, so getting through it took a while and was pretty intense. I arrived quite late, and the first thing I had to find a hotel that fit my budget. Guys, look at that hotel lobby. It really feels, I don't know, a bit like in a museum. And this is really one of the cheapest hotels in entire Casablanca. It has like less than 4 out of 10 on booking. And I think it's ridiculous because people give it very bad notes because it doesn't have Wi-Fi in the room or towels are missing or this kind of thing. But I don't know, I think it's all really not that important when you just see the building from the outside and have a walk here. Okay, it's true that maybe it's not the cleanest, but the atmosphere is just very special. I like it, I really like it. I wish I could stay 2 nights. That evening, I just checked in, had a shower, grabbed a delicious tagine, and went to sleep. Sabah al-Khair. It's 6:40 in Casablanca. Because I didn't see much the previous day and had to check out by noon, I was very motivated to go for a morning ride. I surely picked a very special moment to visit the city. It was Sunday morning, very early, and most importantly, the first day of Ramadan. So I had a completely different experience than most travelers. It felt so good to wander through streets that are normally extremely busy and crowded. And I had them all to myself. Of course, I wanted to see the Hassan II Mosque, one of the most recognizable landmarks in Morocco. And then... Hello! Atlantic Ocean! I haven't done it that far yesterday, so this is my very first time on the coast in Morocco. I really like my cycling tour this morning. It's so cool to go through a basically empty city. About my pannier bags, it feels so light, like I'm flying super nice. And this is very true that Casablanca is a city of extreme contrast. There are places that will make you want to puke, and then there are places like this one where you can feel like, I don't know, Copenhagen, for example. Contrast is definitely a word that fits Casablanca. You go through a rubbish dump surrounded by stray dogs, and 2 minutes later you find yourself in a fancy shopping mall or promenade. Another thing that surprised me, and that very few people seem to talk about, was how much street art there is in the city. During that short ride, I saw plenty of murals. Some of them reference Moroccan or African culture, which makes them even more interesting. There is even a settlement where almost every building is covered with artwork. Just from here I can see 4 murals. There is first one, second one, third and fourth. And this is just the beginning. If you go further through those buildings, there is much more. It's clear that Casablanca has a lot of problems, but as a tourist, it's definitely worth a visit. I feel so happy and thankful. I was right in my bed, chilling after the morning ride, when the hotel owner came up here. And look, he brought me some tea. Yes, finally. I feel so thankful for that. Because, you know, I was riding around Casablanca for over an hour, looking for a place to have my cup of tea, or in that case, teapot. In vain, because even in the biggest city of Morocco, it seems impossible now to find anything open. this is the end of the first part of my bike journey through Morocco. Thank you for coming along with me. If you're curious about the adventures I had in the following days, then stick around. New episodes are coming soon. Stay safe, keep loving your bicycle, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!